Only ones left to defend are Sunprod and Baronary, and this is their time to shine. Your Titan is next. Clocked in are here, and Clocked in look to make something happen. Sunprod ults in, looking to do a bit of distracting as the Titan is getting chipped away at. Paul does good damage, so does Hydro. Titan's the half health. Baronary doesn't have much left to do. Sunprod trying to maybe distract them. Does a good amount of damage to Paul, who's trying to put on the juke shoes, and they fit well. Techbeer finds a kill with Baronary at the Dia side, followed by the defeat of Unforgettable Dance, and Clocked in have locked in the game one.
Happen says, I don't need Aspect to win on Scylla support. I'll take it all anyways. Great plays from Clocked in to come out on top. I mean, yeah, just what a phenomenal performance from Paul, Tegveer, and specifically Hydrogen, just getting the items online to get the team on top with the victory.
That's game one, but this is a best of three. Keep in mind, so we've got more games on the way, but we're going to take a quick break before we get there, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome, Smite fans, to the Smite World Championship Grand Finals!
Shred, then
What are the bands? Oh wow, look at those faces.
Oh, lock that in. That is an honor
It's such a beefy lineup, man. I mean, how, like,
Kanye Life matches up with Ataraxia as the duo lane, Athena and Apollo. The lane, like, insta-killing creeps to get yourself an early level 5. The map, it was always getting invaded, so they're just going to go ahead and pick that up. Let's take a look at the right side, though, as the solo laners and junglers go to war here, and the Berserker Barrage doing a lot of damage to Confrey, but at the end of the day, he is a chalk. He can clear cast, and he brings HP.
The war is going to get brutal, too, and Confrey recognizes
Wow, look at that miss.
Right, yeah. And he's going to, well, the one thing is that they do have a Chalk, and Chalk is one of the better gods that's suited at dealing with a solo lane without a blue buff.
That's true.
Every 5 hits, his passive activates. 5 successful in-hands from the Chalk. Giving him a free cast of his next ability. Mid lane here, you can see just how this matchup goes. MLC Stealth sitting at just over a couple hundred health now as Nox continues to harass him.
You know, what's interesting to me is Nox was heavily unfavored by a lot of players, and that was always very confusing to both the casters and the general Smite viewer base with how strong he is. It should be noted that the only 2 players to play Nox this weekend, at least to my knowledge, are the 2 players sitting in front of you.
And looking at Pretty Prime's build here, this is a very, very all-in style of build. What's going on is he has a Vampiric Shroud as well as building into an early Warlock.
I remember that from 10 years back, actually. He cleared the way with Ataraxia.
He's going to be A-okay. So back to kind of the Nox here. She doesn't have any potions. She has no additional sustain in this lane. And so, as you can see, she's already running low on mana, and she's going to have to go back relatively soon. Where on the other side,
of course, there's so many gods, because it was in beta for a year, right?
The Pretty Prom is point saving at level 4, meaning he has not taken Consume. He is going to activate his 3rd level into Siphon Darkness, and then obviously put a point into Night Terror as well, going for pure damage.
Yeah, the ultimate is a very, very big thing to look for on this Nox. Right side lane, Comfrey's going to eat some harass, and well,
yeah, Nox used to be like counter mage, but
red buff on the top
ultimate never kills anyone else.
Right now by Titan, just behind them is Cognitive Prime, picking up the red buff of their own on the bottom side of your mini map. And continuing on to clear the back camps. A little bit more XP efficient was Titan here in this last exchange, but Zhonghui should have a pretty good time in this lane, as we mentioned, with his superior mana pool now.
I was expecting right there for Comfrey to back into by teleport, and he didn't, so expect that we're not going to see a teleport coming out of Comfrey this game. This could be beads, though unlikely. It could be a shell if Jeff Hindler, or rather if Kanye Life decides he's going to go into something different. I'm not sure. As for the experience, it looks like he's going to miss a little bit of experience and goal, but nothing to cripple him.
Omega also not picking up that early teleport on his first back, so you're right, we may not be seeing much teleport coming out this game, but a kill in the early laning stage will definitely set up the need for that item. This is an item that has a very, very long cooldown. It sits in your 2nd active slot, and it allows you to teleport to towers and later teleport to wards as you level it up. But mid camps are respawning here. Brandon, left side is going to be contested by Cognitive Prime, and it looks like they're going to secure that one easy peasy. Right side, no, hold that thought. Jumping in a little bit is Repicos there, but he thinks better of it moving back. MLC Stealth, was that the ultimate?
That is definitely Recall Demons. That's going to hurt him a lot in the backside. They're going to find Pretty Prime finds a triple ultimate. He's going to go for it here. He has to dodge more.
Oh my god.
Shows up in the
with Apollo ult.
Pretty Prime's getting low. First blood not giving up. Finally goes to Andy, but immediately answered back. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far as they're turning on to MLC Stealth.
If he only had the ultimate here, he can do so much damage, but they may be able to find Repicos nonetheless. There's the card, it's gonna be enough. Here's Kanye Life, he's in some trouble. MLC Stealth with a double kill. One more hit on Kanye Life. There it is!
4-1 at the 4-minute mark. A huge fight on the invade. Cognitive Gaming takes a 2,000 gold lead somehow in the immediate early game, and you gotta know Comfrey, who wasn't available for that one, is really feeling the pressure to carry the game now.
Omega wanders over to the mid lane and picks up the right side mid camps as well. Both
Bros transforming.
Cognitive Gaming helping make that swing even bigger, and now he's sitting on a pretty decent lane advantage over the Chalk. He's gonna pull ahead by a full level.
That's true. We're starting to see some respawns here. We're at the 4-minute mark. Both speed buffs going to be taken. See bottom side getting 3-man, top side getting 2-man. Comfrey not going to see a part of that. Kanye, is he going to 3? Yes, they are going to 3-man the blue buff as well. I think they're really trying to be as safe as possible here.
Pretty Prime with the Dream ultimate there, catching 3 deep in his own jungle. But if you notice, what happened is Ataraxia came crashing down with that ultimate from the Apollo, which put them into a knock-up state, which meant that stun was suffering from diminishing returns, and they weren't able to follow it up. They could have had that 3-man stun from the Nox followed up by a taunt from the Athena, maybe found some damage, but look at the mid lane. Speaking of damage, in a bit of trouble here is MLC Stealth. A lot of trouble, in fact, and he gets picked up by Pretty Prime.
Did you see the superhero explosion, turn around, walk away? I love it. I love it.
He knew that one was secured, and he goes back to continue his safety and farm, knowing that Anisir
Back
is
to
on
crabs.
the with that ultimate backup on the Thor.
So
I just I kicked all of the balls of it now. The what's it called?
1,700 gold in the
Saber-tooth
hole
Kions.
at only 5 minutes, but that's a number that can be easily remedied by grabbing a Gold Fury. And as we start getting towards that Gold Fury phase, it's more possible. But we are seeing an invade on the top side. Kanye Life probably not in too much trouble, but he does say take some poke.
Yeah, the harass being thrown out there by Anderson, just trying to maybe set up a later kill.
You're not mad, Chance.
And he's not gonna have any healing available. That's a free kill.
Unless you kick the tiger in the balls.
I guess he wasn't respecting the Circuit ultimate, holding him in place and allowing him to set up that CC chain and all the damage. Also, the Audacity was active from Apollo there, adding to the kills.
You know, and that Circuit ultimate not only
They sing to his grave. Now you're a man, man.
Because if they went anywhere near him, when that explodes, if you're affected by last breath when you die, the poison spreads to nearby targets, and that's just ridiculous true damage.
And you're going to put out a bit of harass on a Pretty Prime and stop the back in the mid lane here for the Nox. Left side mid camp is up, and once again, it's going to go to Cognitive.
So I'm checking out Andy here. He is opting into the Berserker Barrage start. He's going into the jungle. Repicos just used Hand of the Gods.
He's going to run into 2. Oh, he was off time with his hand,
Yes,
and the taunt comes through. They're going to be able to get that. He's going to go ahead.
I was like 14 back then. Wasn't that?
Coming through on the backside. And
Wasn't
only
this?
if Jeff Hindla had that Cataclysm still available there, they may have been able to make a play.
That's true, but they do wind up dropping the invade Andy, not taking any damage for it. They're going to rotate over towards the right camps, and it doesn't look like Reppy could really defend this one.
Yeah, that red buff. No, they're going
Back
to
on that while it
go
boots.
pick up his red buff. I thought MLC Stealth might play forward there and prevent that rotation, but Pretty Prime will have the benefit of his damage buff now moving back to the lane.
Topside, Anoraxia stuck underneath his tower comparatively to Barracuda, who is just kind of keeping him locked down. I mean, Addy is sitting under half. Barra getting a free back.
The lanes are being won, however, by Cognitive Gaming here. 760 XP a minute on the Jonquay, 690 on the Osiris, the top 2 in the game by quite a big margin.
Gold Fury might be started here. Ataraxia dives over with the ultimate. They're going to sniff this one out. Ataraxia just took a lot of damage, and they don't wind up gaining anything from it. Nice rotation out coming from him.
What?
And Andy's onto Reppy.
Yeah,
It's a kill though, isn't it?
He suns him out during the
Wow,
damage,
2 jumps.
He has a few of those.
They're both instant as well.
The Athena ultimate being channeled as well. Maybe not needed there. Potentially a bit of a misplay. It does save, of course, Sarket's life, but now they don't have that available.
That's Fury turned to the other Furies, didn't it?
As well. Gold
With
Fury
all it
starting to
was,
drop,
just
sitting
go,
down with
just
100%
yellow.
HP. Now down to 45, 40%, 39, almost an execute range. And here it is. They're going to be able to take this Gold Fury.
No hand of the
Cognitive Gaming, they don't have a Hawk 3. Where's the contest? Doesn't matter. Cog Prime, Gold Fury #1. And now Kanye Life, he's eating a lot of damage from the Jonquay. The Nox ultimate doesn't matter. It's a kill.
I don't know why Pretty
Bro
Prime
definitely
was
liked
that. That would've been a great
Shockwave.
opportunity. Jeff Inlaw again not in a great spot. Gonna blow
Oh!
guaranteed. Repicos is dead.
2.
He's done.
MLC Stealth.
And Jeff's alive. Again, Pretty Prime watching his team. He's low on mana. He didn't get in there early enough, and his team pays for it.
Look at Omega.
Oh, the huge
Omega the God in between the 2 and the 1.
Casting together today. If you ask me to analyze what Geb's mid brings to the table here, I might never come back. I'm not gonna lie. This is just I don't even know.
Nah, I got you. I'm the Geb main here. Think about it. He's got the passive to make him naturally tanky, right? And then he's got the aspect to make him a little more damage dealing in fights.
Yep.
Hard as a rock. Look at that. Hard as a rock. No other god has this. He can't take more than 20% of his max health, so he can't get chunked away regardless of how squishy he is. Proper health-wise, he cannot get blown out. It's impossible. Look at that. He takes less damage from Hydro, who's going to be a big player on their team. He can't get critted away because of the passive. He does a lot of damage. Dude, just watch it unfold. It's going to shock you. Shockwave.
Yeah. There's a problem, though. I was reading that passive. Merlin's a dot character, if you weren't aware. A lot of his abilities are dots, so surely the passive just doesn't work that way. Yeah.
If you want to argue on the Smite Prime, then we can argue, bro. You want to start something, let's start something, okay?
Look, at the end of the day, Unforgettable Dance, they have a Geb mid, but the rest of their comp looks really good. I mean, Ullr Apollo should have pressure after they deal with the early game power of Ymir. They should start to kind of get pressure back in their side. The Aladdin is going to be a scaler, though Tegvir is just going to run down the Geb mid.
What did you say?
Bayro is going to die here.
Bayro, stop making my favorite pick look bad. He's forced to use Blink to get away. He got Blink in this game. What is going on?
Very pink dress.
Well, you're not gonna go Geb mid and not go Blink more. Clearly you are just not a knower of this technology that Barrow is cooking up here. Yeah, that's tough though. He got forced off his red buff.
Support.
I think Sunfest just said, nah, you're on your own on the right side. He's level 4 already.
And Thor solo is at least bad.
Level 4, a minute and 40 seconds in.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Happen chasing down Orangu, does hit this 2, trying to slow him down, but they can't chase him down. Golden left by himself in the process. Frost Breath does stun him. Heart Bomb does a stun as well. Golden sitting at about 100 health, and he was not able to find the kill, though. Orangu back and does decent damage, but yeah, just a little bit of slap boxing here.
Yeah, Golden holding on to those beads. I'm kind of surprised he ended up just not using those in that moment. Now gonna heal back up with the help of the health pots, but gonna have to play kind of safe here in this lane, though. Sunprod, level 4 and on the way to this left-hand side. No, gonna hit level 5.
If he gets first blood, then yeah, maybe we'll be better at least this game.
And now he's on his way to the left-hand side because, of course, why would Sunprod not gank left-hand side? He's level 5 Aladdin. You guys are level 3.
There he goes. Let's see what he does. He dashes in, does decent damage. Happen is getting zoned out and dashes down here. Beads is forced from Hydro as the lamp comes out. Gets Beads away. A lot of resources taken away from Sunprod right there.
Like
But Beads is out. Relic is down for Hydro. Something tells me that Sunprod will be back very soon.
Yeah, and actually surprised he doesn't commit with the power wish there to just, you know, force the Beads with the ultimate and then just immediately ult again. But I think Sunprod gonna try and get a little more value out of that ultimate than, say, First Blood in this game, but I don't know. I think it's gonna depend on where Sunprod really looks to play. Left-hand side, though, look at this Hydrogen behind the tower, chasing out Golden.
How did he get there? What is going to happen from there? Golden's super low on health. Unforgettable Dance not looking too great here. Heart Bomb looks to stun Rongu. When that does, Slow follows up from Happen. Rongu's in a bad situation, my friend. Happen does decent damage.
If he survives this.
And Sunprod's able to find a kill, though. Happen takes out Rongu in the process. Heart Bomb does good damage as well. Golden finds Hydro. 2 bodies down on each side. And the only one left standing is Sunprod, who inevitably is just going to farm away the left side.
Well done to Sunprod. Gets first blood and makes sure that they kill both duo laners. So huge for the Aladdin. Already level 6. Tegvir catching up a little bit, though. Has level 5 online for the Huiyi. Going to continue to farm out. Likely going to go towards the crit build that we saw earlier from a Huiyi jungle from NMR. Rongu level 3, though, on the support. Going to struggle a bit for a while on the Apollo. And we haven't really talked about what the Apollo is supposed to kind of do in support. The aspect makes him decent and viable there. A little tankier, though. Right-hand side, the red buff getting invaded again. Poor Barrow just cannot catch a break over there.
Dude, you pick Geb against Paul on the Merlin. This is what's going to happen. You're going to need either extreme camping from Sunprod or you kiss your buffs goodbye because Paul does not care. Shards of Ice does decent damage to Rongu. Heart Bomb does find a stun. Rongu's very low on health. Happen looks to dive in for it, but he doesn't want to tank that tower. He's not too tanky just yet, so we back things up on duo side and we wait for maybe a better opportunity.
Going back to what we were talking about, this okay, Golden jumps up and down, just trying to bait it out some dash because Sunprod is on the way here.
Where is he going to go, though? Over the wall, Sunprod dashes in, does decent damage, able to find Hydro, and the lamp taking Happen for a ride, and here we are, all by his lonely, and here come the reinforcements. Happen is again, double kill for Sunprod, clocked in, down a couple bodies.
Sunprod has deemed it so. This dual lane will die again and again and again. This is what he tried to do in game number 1, but Hydrogen being on a much more unsafe pick makes it a whole lot easier for him to make plays on this left-hand side. And
Brawl's the way.
I mean, speechless, man.
Just farm, dude. Don't judge him.
Just a true display of top-level mechanics in this moment. I'm yeah, okay.
These are the best players that Smite 2 has saw.
This is finals,
you know
man.
What? I thought it was cool. I respected it. Sometimes you got to do it for the one time. You got to do it.
Yeah, but now you have
this Gold Fury gets
no
stripped
ultimate.
away.
Yeah, no ultimate or blink to contest this Gold Fury.
What was he gonna? I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's a lot of hypothetical here. Let's just talk about what did happen. All right.
He's kept blink gold. He better be contesting those golds.
Hydro maybe looks to walk back up as a lot of damage comes out from Happen and Rongu low as well. Heart Bomb looking for a stun. Ice Wall couldn't quite find the block off. The Heart Bomb did not stun, so Rongu looks to be okay. And Sunprod not here. Sunprod's over on right side as Thor ults in, and maybe Aladdin finds a kill on right side. Dashing in, what can we do here? Aladdin might find a kill. Able to take down Karmic, and that's a kill on right side.
Sunprod 4-0-1 on the Aladdin, 6 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. He is feasting in this game so far, up 2 levels over his opponent Tegvir on the Huiyi. So, I mean, this is what you want. You want Sunprod on an early game playmaker, and so far doing a fantastic job making it happen. We'll see if he can continue to translate that to the side lanes. There's no world he's going to be ganking mid anytime soon, so the play for Sunprod is just to keep spam ganking side lanes. as much as humanly possible.
You just wait for Sunprod to show up mid, and that Cataclysm combo is gonna be nasty. Don't you? How dare you even insult Barrows?
I know.
Level of play here. Dude, I'm waiting for you to be proved wrong, right? I don't think you're like wrong with what you've said so far. I just can't wait for it because it's gonna get nasty in here.
Paul is chilling.
Look, it will happen.
Respecting the
Barrow
kid.
can get the items, can build the full int, can just continue to
You're
secure
intelligent.
farm, despite being taken down 2 levels.
You're not surprised when people do
But if
stuff
Barrow
like
can
that.
get there, a Geb blink ult in, and somebody's dying.
What do you
Point blank.
mean?
It's just happening.
Yeah.
What's
It's
the
just not
wrong
gonna
voice
happen.
to use?
Till maybe 20,
I
30
didn't
minutes
mention
into
thing
the
about the
game,
book,
maybe
yes.
40
Put it
minutes
from
or
one window to a window to
It's a
another.
long
Sunprod's
It's a
already
long way.
hitting. He's 4-0. He's got the damage online. He just needs the lockdown, and Barrow's got that ready. He's got a knock up with rollout.
I didn't know
He's
it
got
was
the
on this
stun from
screen.
here. You know, and this is just maybe me being a little passionate towards my favorite god in the game.
I can do
So
that.
I could be coping just a tad bit, but like, come on, man. There's potential here.
Why is Geb your favorite god in the game?
Hard
I
as
didn't
rock.
do anything wrong last stream,
Hard as
so
rock. It's the name of his passive. Knock up here. There's the knock up in Baron area.
because I said I don't care if you report me, I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
This is
That's
humongous
probably why I got
for
reported.
Unforgettable Dance. Gives them 6 kills on the board as they're in the lead thanks to the captain of the team, Baronary, and the rest of Unforgettable Dance.
It totally wasn't thanks to
They are
someone
the
who's
problem.
4-0. Absolutely not. It was all Geb for sure. Hard as a rock in mid. No, great play from the side of Unforgettable Dance. I mean, look, this is what you need to do is catch moments where Paul is on his own in mid, stepping forward, saying, guys, it's just a Geb.
Isn't Paul just the
What's he gonna
best
do,
player
kill me?
in the game?
This guy's gonna kill me? No.
Yeah,
And then
he is.
Vlad
Colin
shows up and
Trin.
he is dead in that moment. He's like, oh, I see now. I was baited
Okay,
in by
alright.
a Geb mid.
Look at the vision though. He's got Gemma focus, so
You
that
should
plus
say,
rollout move speed makes him
quiet,
faster
like
than
you're
Urgot. I think there's a
listening.
little bit of
That's
vision
true.
that
Even
I
you
didn't
farts.
see before. And as the Cupid told South,
Feel
the
some love and propane.
He might get stunned by this heart bomb. Beads is forced out.
Beads.
Rangu dashes forward. Look at his zone out for his friend, and Golden's A-OK. But Sunprod by himself here in mid lane. He's forced to dash away up the wall. Over the wall he goes. Paul is here though. He's able to find a bit of lockdown, and the beads is the lamp is forced from Sunprod just to get away from Paul.
Yeah, that was a good ult from Sunprod just to avoid being locked down by the side of Clocked In. So Clocked In have to kind of take it easy in moments like that where, you know, Sunprod steps forward and his mid laner's not there, as we see still more scuffling around this these back harpies. Sunprod getting pushed out by Tegveer. Sunprod getting
Parkour.
face. Oh, there's the blink ult!
Gotta love
The blink, it didn't
those
do
kind
anything.
of mechanics.
He just walked away. Taver's okay.
doesn't have
He's
he
okay.
does
The
have
rollout
rollout
might
on the
change things. Bad
No.
Taver's diving over the wall. Rollouts here,
How
and Baron
dare
Harry
he.
can't quite catch up to him.
How dare you jump
This
over that
is
wall? Happened in a world of hurt here because Dishonored's rotated on over.
Why didn't you
Golden
change
with
gaps
that
one?
while
It's
Golden
better
is
you
up.
get mid though.
This should be free
Not
for
because they didn't do
Unforgettable
it, but
Dance.
because people were too bad.
Barrow's doing a great job of zoning away as the rest of Unforgettable Dance chip away at this Gold Fury, and that's going to be their first one of the game. They're not out of this, dude. They have 5 kills over their opponents. They just got their first Gold Fury. They have 1,000 gold lead. Dude, Unforgettable Dance are in this.
They were never really out of it though. I mean, Sunprod. I mean, it's all Sunprod, right?
There's
Sunprod
no
gets off to a
shockwave,
good
no?
lead in the left-hand side.
If
but
they're
Turtle
running,
Gangs
it's only
again
it goes
after getting a
half
double
distance
kill,
relatively.
and has continued to then translate that
Well,
lead
they
over to the
travel
rest of his lanes.
that distance.
Has, you know, kind of hung around the left side a few times here and there. You know, has consistently now ganked mid onto Paul and looked for 1v1s against Tegveer with Barrow in tow. And one thing to note, Barrow, you know, yeah, we kind of joke about the Geb and how, you know, it doesn't do a lot. It does some damage once he has items, but the shield is going to be very impactful for Sunprod's dive. You know, just being a little tankier when the Aladdin goes in will be huge, as there's the Cataclysm.
It keeps him safe there. He would have died otherwise. So it's a safe
Oh, for
Cataclysm,
sure.
but that could be a bait. As Sunprod's here, maybe looking to take advantage of someone if they can find a way in, but Sunprod
Dishonored.
can't quite find an engage so far. Baronari's using the rollout. We're looking for an in here. Ice Wall stops Baronari from going in, but they don't want to dive tower just yet. So Sunprod's going to go steal some farm on the left side.
A lot of credit to Dishonored as well. He was a big part of why that Gold Fury play happened, as Golden looking for the 1v1, can't find the axe, but look who's around the backhand side. Sunprod is
Oh
here.
shit!
Feels a love forced out. Does
There's
take a
not
lot of
attack
damage though. Sunprod almost died to that tower, but Golden's gonna make sure that he's A-okay. Apollo just a tad too late to the party, but it's all right. You can bring the snacks for afterwards, right? Pyro is getting taken down by Clocked In the process though. So they did give up a little bit of objective, and Clocked In take advantage to get themselves closer to the gold deficit that they're in.
Sun are just going to be pushing out on this right-hand side while the likes of Clocked In take down the Nagas. And look at this. Unforgettable Dance still continuing to push on this left-hand side. Karmic on his way back over to the right-hand side because his tier 1's going to fall here to Dishonored. And I kind of didn't get to talk about it because there was just more fighting. But Dishonored, he was a big part of why that gold happened. He rotates on over early there to get there in time as Tegvir gets his beats forced with a great beats of his own, taking the 1v1.
Sunbreaker does decent damage to Sunprod, and the knockup's gonna take him down. Tegvir just deuced up Sunprod and gave him his first death of the game. Baroneri gets that rollout. Does it make you so fast now? Does it? Meanwhile, on the left side, Hydro Fields of Love does take down Golden. That's 2 bodies down for Unforgettable Dance, and Clocked In are feeling good.
Clocked In, they said they
that's just what he is. He's the ability damage, his first ability, turning early, and hope maybe mid-game.
To avoid the ultimate.
He's playing the same.
In the jungle, that's where Huyi is at his strongest in these little 1v1 skirmishes. As Barrow will continue to farm up this mid lane, but they're suddenly not in.
I don't mind weird builds and picks, but if you're trolling intentionally,
Hydrogen has the 2 items, but
just be weird.
Towards what should be a maybe Frenzy. No.
Can't wait to watch some more old worlds.
I actually don't know what he's building into next. I'm not gonna lie.
Tess, can we check wishes on Sunprod? Is that a thing? I actually don't know. I do spectating for Smite Prime all the time, and I have no idea what the answer to that is.
I don't think we can because it's technically an active item.
Right. Yeah. I figured it was worth a shot. Oh, that's no. Sorry, Tess. I hate to bring you off. I don't know. I mean, I could have swore I heard a wish of power right there is why. I didn't hear for sure, but I thought so. I was wondering if there was a way to double check that, but I think it's a wish of power down from Sunprod.
I believe so. I also believe he used Wealth Wish pretty early on as well, and that's why he had such a big lead over Tegvir in terms of his item spikes. I mean, look, he's sitting on 3 completed items now, and those aren't cheap items. Heartseeker, pretty expensive in the build, so I imagine the Wealth Wish was used pretty early on, and that's where you want to use it and try and
what the fuck is this?
Wrong you on the way with the help of Baroneri.
Geb's in pocket. We're gonna land down. Look for a stun. Shockwave does massive damage, and Rollout's gonna take him down. Baroneri's on fire with this Geb pick. Unforgettable Dance locked in here. 5 kills over their opponents at the 15-minute mark, and they are down just a tad bit of gold, but they make their way towards this tier 1 tower. Wait a minute, that's a great stun from Ymir. Locking down the leftovers.
Accept the primary solution, but you're gonna have a settler for it when it works 80% of the time.
Unforgettable Dance do not want to take this fight, but Baroneri is on the front line, just bringing it to Tegvir as they waltz forward and look to find some members of Clocked In. Dishonored's up there doing decent damage. Happen is in trouble, and Happen might not be able to make the escape happen. Karmic chasing down Baroneri in the backside, though. Karmic does decent damage with the Sanguine Lash. Baroneri is getting chased away. Solo on health. Look at Karmic go with the backline, taking advantage of everyone that's over there. Ice Wall here does lock down Sunprod, and the speed buff will make sure that he gets away in time, but Golden is not so fortunate. Golden getting taken down, Dishonored by himself. Ball almost found him, and the Gold Fury is next. Sunprod's around the corner. Gold Fury sitting at about 2,000 health. It's getting away so fast, though, but Hydro is able to secure it. Sunprod couldn't quite find the steal of the lamp around the corner, but the lamp did not connect. Sunprod is in trouble. Hydro might dash forward for it, and the Ice Walls here from Happen to stun Sunprod, and he is dead. So many lives of Unforgettable Dance lost, and a Gold Fury on top of all that. Clocked In have locked in this game too.
Man, where did it all go wrong? They get a perfect pick. They get Hydrogen. They didn't even have to use Cataclysm to get it. And then Golden continues to push down on the left-hand side, and Unforgettable Dance, they take a 4v4 fight. And when your Uller ADC, who's in a really good spot, has, I think they had 2.5 items at that stage completed during that fight, and they're split pushing instead of helping the rest of the team, suddenly the fight just isn't as easy for Unforgettable Dance. They still have a Geb who's full damage. It's not the best, as Fire Giant is being pulled here, but the rest of the members of Unforgettable Dance are here to respond.
Dishonored and Rontague in the air, looking for a way to interrupt this Fire Giant take. It's sitting at about 5,000 health, but looks like it's been dropped. Apollo's on a mission. Wait a minute, they're going to go for that left bird. This could be a burn on that bird while they go for the Fire Giant. This might be just a distraction from Unforgettable Dance as Golden and Rontague are here. Down goes the bird. It is dead and clocked in. All 5 members are still here. Nobody's went back just yet. Did we try and base race to end game? No, they're just going to back things up as Rongue's there by himself. Uller backs things away and clocked in with the Fire Giant buffs in pocket, and the dagger in the hands of Tegvir waltz their way up middle.
Golden being left lane was exactly why Unforgettable Dance had to make that play happen. It was a smart play from Rongue to send himself over to the left-hand side to help make sure that they could at least get some map pressure here. But look at this, clocked in, pushing down onto the mid-bird.
5 members with Fire Giant buffs in pocket look to march their way towards that Phoenix and melt it down in quick time, and that they do. Down goes the bird, but there are still some side towers up. There's a tier 1 and a tier 2 on the left side. They don't feel as confident towards taking down that Titan with the current existing conditions. So they're going to back things up, spend some of that gold as Barrow looks to maybe take down Karmic, but the damage from Karmic is too much for Barrow to handle. Dishonored dashes in, hits the stun, beats forced out from Karmic. Golden's still on the chase, and Thor's in the air, looking to make sure that Karmic does not get out of this one. Lands back down, hits the stun, and hits the final bit of damage. Rongue finds the kill, and one body down on each side.
Karmic was under half and somehow got above halfway towards the end of that fight, but still ends up falling there. Big pick there for Unforgettable Dance. They get something on the way out. Do want to note, though, all things considered, Unforgettable Dance, despite being down 6,000 gold,
I'm gonna choose myself.
they're not in the worst state. They still have a tier 1 and tier 2 in left-hand side, and they have the left-hand side bird down or clocked in, so they will have left side map pressure. So when next Fire
Thank you for putting up the XM3s for only 200
the
euros.
advantage in terms of playing the long.
This half is bad for the people who don't have the built-in stereo.
Now,
Right?
granted,
You're getting
there's
the
a tier 1
hardware.
and tier 2 up and mid, so the Titan.
Now we have used the XM5s for
pushing, so there isn't a whole lot of threat.
2.25 times more.
Unforgettable Dance, they're still just they're in it. They're not out of it at all.
I'm out of it.
No, by any means, no. Because
Always out of it.
Positioning right
Nah,
now, they're
kidding.
walking forward because they want to catch out Hydro, who
Good
just
goal.
used the beads to get out of Sunprod's lamp. That was a huge beads too. Sunprod has only been able to hit 1 lamp so far, and it's been impactful. But I mean, we need to see some more of these lamps connect to really dominate team fights. Meanwhile, now they're on the escape. He's clocked in, have grouped up, and decided to walk towards the rest of Unforgettable Dance. They've still got Fire Giant buffs in pocket.
Yeah, for sure, and this is kind of what Unforgettable Dance have to do. They kind of have to give space as Sunprod could get caught here. Has his dashes forced.
Huyi jumps in, Sunbreaker's out, almost walled off Sunprod, but here comes Karmic. He's looking to take advantage of Sunprod, but the Stone Shield saved his life. The Stone Shield saved his life. Golden turns things around, takes down Karmic. 1 body down for clocked in so far, but they still have Fire Giant buffs in pocket. Uller's going to have to dash out of this. Golden couldn't quite handle that damage. Baron Arrow's on the chase, looking to chase down Tegvir, who does get stunned.
I would done with
He
the
gets stunned
worlds.
and Dishonored
Almost gonna
finds the
watch
kill.
some
Golden
older
and Unforgettable
mana
Dance are turning this whole thing
tournament
around.
games.
Apollo and Baron Area are in the air, looking to chase down, clocked in. 3 bodies left on the left side.
Smash.
And here comes Apollo. Here comes Baronary. The Fields of Love
There
is
it is,
the
there it is.
Sparrow in the blink of an eye. The Fields of Love stun takes him down in quick time. Rongue with no mana left and no health either. Down he goes, but Thor just a tad too late to the party. Slams down in quick time. Shard the Vice out. The Aladdin lamp hits. And all by his lonely. Dishonored takes down Paul. And Sunprod by himself in the lamp is killed. Is taken down. Waiting on the outside is Golden and Dishonored. By himself, fighting this lonely fight. Hydro is out. Hydro takes a lot of damage, and Golden jumps in, looking for the final touch of death. The heart bomb almost found the sun, but couldn't quite find it in time. Golden takes down Hydro. Hydro's dead as well, and it is nothing but a lonely Dishonored waiting by himself to defend what's left of the Titan room.
It's a bloodbath in the left-hand side. Paul and is just able to stay alive for so long. Just flickers out of Dishonored's ultimate just in the nick of time to keep himself up a little bit longer, but still somehow, someway, Unforgettable Dance, despite the Geb mid, they're continuing to fight back. I don't necessarily like Rongue sending Baronary right to the back line on top of a Cupid who still has ultimate. Had to be sure, but just
there used to be as much rhubarb and vanilla and black tea in my veins as water before.
Merlin instead. But anyways, I think Unforgettable Dance, they're still in it. Now their mid bird is going to be back up here. Fire Giant's due to respond. Gold Fury is still available if they want to look towards that. And I mean, look, they're still in it. They have potential to just fight back in it. Look at the relics down. Tegvir, no beads for 40 seconds. Paul, no beads for 56 seconds. If Sunprod can get a good ultimate in this next 50 seconds, specifically onto Paul, that's a lot of clocked in's damage out of the team fight right away. Unforgettable Dance, can they take advantage of it?
The game is still up for decision. We're at 22 minutes. There's a 6K gold lead on the side of Clock.
What happened? So drinking coffee, something better.
Up one
I'm
Gold
kidding.
Fury token. This is still anyone's game. Fire Giant buffs no longer up for Clocked In, but the Fire Giant
for next stream, right?
is up for taking. Clocked In opt in for the Pyro instead. Wrongyu places up, looking for Paul, maybe so, but Happen secures that Pyro away.
I'm just terrible at keeping track of the time. For T,
they're going to let it fall down quickly as both
don't want to get up and get that thing either, actually.
The Fire Giant, because both teams know that's the next thing on the
timer.
Wrongyu going to the sky, and they're looking to go in aggressively here because they see Karmic on the left-hand side.
Oh, Thorold as well. Where are we going to collapse, though? Looking for a piece of Paul, but couldn't quite find the stun. Paul does decent damage, and Dishonored is getting chipped away. They take down Paul. That's their hard hitter. This could be looking good for Unforgettable Dance. Looking for the next piece. Baronary is taken down by Hydro. Karmic's going crazy on the back line. Tegvir finds a kill.
Unforgettable front teeth. Sean is under
That's 3 bodies down for Unforgettable Dance. Dishonored with just a couple hundred health to his name. Karmic slows him down, and Karmic takes him down. That is 4 dead bodies on the side of Unforgettable Dance, and Sunprod's by himself. This is now or never. Turns out it's never. The stun connects Deicide for Clocked In as they make their way to the Titan room.
Unforgettable Dance, they commit so much just to kill Paul, but it's only Paul. They have double hunters on the side of Unforgettable Dance, or on Clocked In, sorry. So they're gonna push down mid here and end this game and take this week's Smite Prime victory.
Down it goes, and what looked like a dream, what looked like something phenomenal just fell apart in such quick time. Just little minute misplays, one after the other, just kind of led to the demise of Unforgettable Dance, and it was an unforgettable ride. Let me tell you, that was a game of all games. There were so many fun plays, so many fun things to talk about. That was an invigorating game of Smite 2, and thank you all for joining us.
Thanks,
we'll
honey.
Right back with a quick break, and we'll break down everything that we just saw.
What's your name, honey? Bernard. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything. There's like this there's a scene in Stardust where this witch doesn't supposed to trick a bunch of people with like a freaking pretending to be an inn, and she makes the man into a woman and doesn't bother with that. She turns the woman into a goat. And when it goes into a person, they can't speak, and it goes like bah. And when the person's visiting the inn, they go like, anyway, they ask her, oh wow, sweetie, what's your name? It's like Bernard.
Cutting the creeps and forcing Confree into a very, very awkward position now. And he's doing this because the camps are coming back up.
I should put something else there, but cutting edge accountant's elbow attack.
He's kind of waffling.
I should replace the shockwave elbow with a accountant's elbow. I'll do it.
On his decision, he needs to pick. I don't think he realizes he's standing directly on a ward.
Yeah, he definitely had an opportunity there. Blue buff comes back up, and he does have that timer, but it looks like Titan's going to be able to secure their top side buff.
Would you call him Confree? Just get ice cube, ice cream, cone.
Cognitive Gaming with a pretty good lead here, almost 4,000 gold, which is pretty strong at this stage in the game.
Player damage owned by Nox right now, 4,500 dealt. Right behind her is the Thor, sitting at 3,500 dealt to players. But once again, going back to that XP lead, now ahead 100 XP a minute is the Osiris over the Chalk.
All right, so in the mid lane, Pretty Prime gonna consume the return shot.
Wow, this cement, this baton, cement is called in Swedish. Concrete, sorry. Wow, this baton has a really chalky taste. Wow, I remember that as well from 10 years ago.
He couldn't teleport there, and he didn't have an escape. Berserker Barrage wouldn't have
It
confirmed
kind of
it.
feels like
It was very smart and very patient of him to be able to stick that one out.
Yeah,
put in another
just off the mark to secure that kill for them. Taking a look at this Zhang Kui, just once again affirming for me that
dimensional
MLC is the best player in this tournament playing today.
This guy has been a
We're like going fast through time.
throughout the entire tournament. I don't think there's a single doubt in anyone's mind.
That's how it feels like, it's true.
The finals that MLC is going to be the MVP.
Absolutely.
Something dramatic would have to happen.
A dominant Zhang Kui play here now, sitting at a very robust 4-1 through the early game, 6,000 gold farm. Outdone by the Thor. Highest net worth in the game, and it's an absolute monster right now. At 6,300 net worth, 2-0 and
Perfect
2
tempo
on the
turn.
slash mark, and he's going to have a Jotun's Wrath up and coming here, maybe around the 12-minute mark, as early as that. No, he's going to have it earlier than that. He's going to have it here at about 11 minutes with 1,300 gold in hand.
He's trying. Wait. Oh, there he goes. I see. Okay, so he's going to have a lot of damage going forward, but for me, I'm still looking at Reppy. He's 3 levels down right now, which is going to hurt him. Looking at the gold, 1,300 down as well, but it's still Circuit. If he gets to the end game,
he could be in a bit of trouble here. No, he's forced to dash out. They're going to use the Athena ultimate as well. Barracuda's put himself into a bit of an awkward position, but it doesn't look like Titan Wonder aggresses as MLC Stealth turns the corner. They're going to zone it out. It's a free red buff.
You can't.
I'm just making the world a smart, more tolerant place. Telling people what concrete is called in Swedish.
I didn't think it was going to be it. I thought he was going to go Agni, but Bart was right, and MLC was very clearly right, as he has a dominant early game.
Barracuda being bailed up by Jeff Pillow, who pours forward.
Oh!
Rebecca's gets exploded by the ultimate combination.
Can't beat that. That would be hard to beat even still.
Underneath this tower, but not enough HP yet to die.
Did you die from? Oh, we could almost. That was not like Barracuda actually.
I don't think he's got it in him.
I don't think he does.
Look at the bait. Look at Barracuda saying, "Please come try this."
Yeah, it's
Right side, Omegatron continuing their slapbox match. I really don't expect either one of these to drop.
I didn't bring my fucking banking pickaxe again.
Damage, but it's going to be hard for them to confirm kills.
I bring 2 items, but
it is indeed once again taking down the
oh, I missed that.
That card, man, it's no joke.
What does she do about that?
She tries
to
That's
right. She can offset some of the damage there, but at the damage over time ability, very effective against the Nox. And all things told, she's not powerful enough and won't be until very late game to contest this Zhang Kui in just raw damage output. And likely as well is that Repicos can't do much to bail him out here with the Circuit. HP pool is just not big enough to deal with the recall demons.
You know, and there was so much healing in the early stages of the game. There's not really all that much healing now. Omegatron can shut down healing himself for any type of lifesteal. And while, of course, Zhang Kui does have some healing, it's going to defeat the purpose of having that Circuit ult for the healing reduction. So it's going to be hard for them to form a strategy around it. And considering Repicos is still level 9, you got to expect that they're going to keep that bully and keep her shut down.
Minion kills also belong on the side of Cognitive Gaming. Over 100 CS for the top 3 farmers in the game, and all of them belong to Cog.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, man. Omega at 120 right now. Barra 115. MLC 113, though he has about 95 more to fill up that Warlock Sash.
Yeah, that's where you see they farmed.
I don't want to run over there again, man.
Last hit so far this game, and needs another 95 for her Warlock Sash. And it's gonna take some time.
So, you know, we talk about Nox and we talk about how strong she is. People always ask, like, how do you deal with this? People with dot damage are your best friends. Annenster right now. Can rip off our shield almost instantaneously using Berserker Barrage. He can also stop it. it with the first hit of Mjolnir's attunement, allowing the secondary hit, which does the real damage, to land. MLC Stealth, of course, has the card as well, which is continuous damage. Oh, Comfrey going in.
Yeah, he's going to silence. Here's that ultimate combination with the Athena as well, but getting out with the beads and Mjolnir's attunement is Andy dodging the damage. MLC Stealth is positioned very far forward in this fight, and when the recall
ununderstandable hamster combination.
You're done, son. MLC Stealth
Unbelievable.
and combined for a kill with Jeff Hindla on to the support yet again. Gold Fury is going to start being contested here if they find more kills onto this Athena.
I don't think it's going to be contested. I think it's going down. They have 18 seconds without Kanye right now, which is going to be more than enough for them to blow this up. Jeff Hindla going to have that hand 3 online. This is a guaranteed 1,500 unless Pretty Prime finds
Well, the stars are
alive, but I just don't see him going for it.
Well, the hamster realigns.
Falling rapidly down to 45.
Falls out of the microwave.
Any moment now, there it is. Boom! Gold Fury is gone. Cognitive Gaming will
Should be the name of the next chapter when the hamster falls out of the microwave.
6,700 gold in their favor.
You know, a lot of the casters and a lot of the analysts agreed that SK Gaming was going to have this type of presence against Titan, and they didn't. But it looks like that might have been a kryptonite situation. They need to find an answer right now, because if we see all 3 games like this, we're going to have a very short set.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this one comes down to the picks and the bans, as you mentioned.
I need some ultimate in this.
Prime. They knew. They had all 5 of those picks and all 4 of those bans figured out to that stage. And they looked like they were very, very prepared for this setup. The Zhang Kui, I don't think Titan was expecting this pick to come out, and they don't really have an answer for it.
So right now, looking over in the mid lane, there's a curious 3-man grouping coming out from Pretty Prime, Kanye Light, and Repikas. And brutally...
They look shook, Brandon.
Yeah, brutally. Anister, MLC, and Jeff walk back up to that red buff, and they know they're going to take it. They're trying to bait the fight.
Yeah, Titan looks shook here. I mean, their grouping is 3. They want to farm their jungle in clusters just to be safe. And well, it's Cognitive Gaming taking it. Right side lane, though, we may have Osiris going in for the dive. Comfrey, no, is going to hold him out. Back at the red buff.
Ataraxia goes in. Jeff Hindla gets a 4-man cat of the dream.
Anister's taking it to the sky here. They will pick up the kill on MLC Stealth, but at what cost? Pretty Prime starting to take damage from the Berserker Barrage. And yes, one more hand secures it. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far of the mid laners. Trying to dash through his Ataraxia, but he's going to get stunned out a bit by the pillar. Kind of an awkward dash, but they don't have to follow up underneath the tier 1 tower. Ataraxia will live.
A 1-for-1 trade right there. Only Pretty Prime going down thanks to Repikas's ultimate, which actually spreads to Jeff Hindla. They don't have the follow-up, of course. MLC does get picked up.
The hamster comes out of the microwave. Just 3 sentences. Next chapter.
But that was a trade definitely in favor of Titan. Not only was MLC worth more gold, but he had a much
I did think it was just a 5 minutes of heating. Really much to say about microwaves. I love thinking about microwaves. It's so 4-dimensional.
They've taken 7 of 8 of these mid camps so far.
It feels like it. It's got to be something very similar to that at best.
Master thinking of microwaves and your wife. The yodeling prodigy.
Mid lane now, just continue to aggress his.
Oh, it's so beautiful, this
finding
place.
A lot of farm around the map. In fact, he continues to be the top farm player, top kills, top gold, top damage, all in favor of Thor.
So,
I've been here before one time actually. It was this stream. No, it was a few years ago. Back when the solo battles were completely pointless.
Right side again, Comfrey getting
beyond pointless.
Omega has just had him unlocked. Chalk was a very curious pick to me so early in the game.
I feel like people don't appreciate the art of not fighting each other solo lane anymore.
They were gonna ban that. It was a very
you only fight when somebody's ganking, so it's like a disadvantage.
Nox where she couldn't be counterpicked as much, but Thor was already on the table.
It's just a low value pick. You're not getting 3rd pick potential out of this Chalk right now. Right, he's not dominating his lane. You know, when you look at what was picked 3rd on the side of Cognitive in the on her Geb, that on her or that Geb both have had a lot of game impact so far, where Chalk has fallen short.
I was expecting maybe a Hercules into a Baka ban and then into the Nox pick. That would have been super strong. But left side, Barracuda going to take some damage, low on mana. Jump going to be on cooldown, and Ataraxia smartly going to rotate out as Jeff Hindler rotates in.
And it's there feints like he's going to go to the left
The
side.
fact that togicness of grind can make someone insane as pure as Barracuda, Cruiser is just really toxic, you know?
Yeah, he just has no recourse now. He's dropped
Bro played Assault, should have Assault and die here.
He is very, very weak against these heavy CC-based initiators like Thor.
We're going to have a huge pincer here. Andy, in some
Very good.
too many abilities without taking too much damage.
Wow.
Might be out. Speed buff looks like going to go down in favor of Red.
But that's a lot used to secure a speed buff. That's the Nox ultimate, big part of their team fight control. And they're going to initiate on Omega. Don't you know? Don't fight the tank here. As MLC stealths in the backline, Jeff Hindler moving forward and push off the marker.
Here's a good name for Ice Attack, World Refrigerator.
Basically going to be used to get Reppy out of base faster because he's forced to heal once again.
Yeah, although Titan does secure their buff, they lose their blue buff on the right side as well, and they're going to lose the right side mid camps. Still, it's... Advantage Cogs.
Major advantage, Cog. 6 kills separate the two teams, and yet there's a 7,400 gold difference with no towers down. That's incredible farming. That means the CS is significantly higher. They get the first tower right there, but you're talking about buff invades. You're talking about pressure and stripping away gold and experience by sending people back.
I'm thinking about that video about Wolverine string of long capacity of blowing the trumpet. Very cute. I would comment, I can fart longer than the guy can blow the trumpet.
Net worth, the first one to break the 5-digit mark in this game, pre-20 minutes. And once again, just leaving the right side solo lane, Megatron proxy farming between the two towers. He's getting a lot of free damage on this tier 1 right.
Andy almost has 3,000 gold by himself over Reppy. That is incredible. At this stage of the game, at this stage of play, the fact that Andy was able to do this and on land nonetheless.
Right. Gold Fury back on about 30 seconds here. Finding camp for themselves, but it's a little too late right now for them. And 50 XP is not going to take them out of the deficit they found themselves in now.
Comfrey rotating here, not sure what he's looking for. A little bit curious as he walked through the jungle. I expected him to go.
I still walked the jungle of Smite 1.
Thrown the axe, it would have been secured, but he didn't go for it. He goes all the way from bottom side jungle to top side small camps. Shouldn't miss anything too relevant here. With a ward coming down from Omega, he'll spot him coming back in.
Yo, what the fuck, man?
Snipers right now. These are not all the Hunter-esque characters. And we're just gonna sort it by mastering.
Look at this sentry ward just off the left side of the mid. Lane near where the tier 1 was for Titan has been.
Hey, here's an argument I should have figured out long ago. When someone's building like MLC stats, you go, oh, it's the more fucking power on the Sash and the Jotuns. Bankrupts. Yeah, but Prime Mage, 20% cooldown reduction, 20% more damage. Is that power difference more than 20%? Is 20% more damage? Is it damage difference?
That's why we call it the hotspot.
It is the hotspot.
The hotspot. That's where the ward goes. That's like, this is the most gank potential right there. Of course, barring the fact
sometimes having cooldown reduction is getting 2 spells off instead of 1.
Into the Gold Fury from the red side
For 6
of the map
3.
is a great place to have the vision because it just allows you to see if they're trying
We
to.
need more ultimates like Vulcan is blowing things up.
Barracuda is perfectly
Big circle.
controlling the Gold Fury, and with some help from MLC Stealth and the zoning, they push Replicas all the way back to the tier 2. Have Andy and Omega, and this is another free Gold Fury on the side of Cognitive Prime.
This to me is why your god pool must include Sylvanas and must include Geb. It feels to me that Kanye Life is suffering because his wacky god pool is not paying off. They know to be afraid of the Ymir. It seems they ban the Ymir out. They know they're going to pick Athenas, so they go right for it. They let him do it, and they pick Geb right into it. Geb versus Athena, this is like a pretty free matchup.
Kanye gets stunned out, and
Oh.
Falco coming through as well, but it's a taunt onto 2. Jeff Hindlem maybe taking a spill here as Anister is going to have to bail, but Barracuda's coming in. Oh no, Andy's going to take this guy. They're fighting this one.
Jeff almost down here. One more shot gonna do it. Can he get behind stealth? No, Ataraxia.
God, I love that sprint.
And Andy goes
Just
deep
600
on top of
gold.
Epicos there instead of looking maybe for Ataraxia as a bit more of a likely candidate, but yeah, he's not making it out of this one alive.
Those is a dominant ultimate.
Low there, but they trade the Hunters in that. Well, no, I'm sorry. They trade the Guardian for the Hunter, and well, the level 18 Ataraxia worth quite a bit more than the level 15 Geb.
Indeed, the 1-for-1 trade.
Back when you could buy relics, upgrade them from 900 gold. Nobody did.
Now we'll have a clean rotation, albeit a bit late.
Oh no, Osiris is 100 gold away from finishing Shin size right now. He's heading back.
Wait, he's going back now? Is he selling something?
No, he just went over. He got 1850 after clearing that last wave, and here we go. Chin size online, 21 minutes, 20 seconds for Osiris.
Oh, that's dangerous. Now he's going to be doing not
and
only
a tier 1 left.
a ridiculous amount of damage, but that's AoE damage with part of his auto attack chain. Of course, single target, AoE, AoE, and a cone in front of him. So they should definitely be afraid. I mean, he has such an insane amount of inherent tankiness that having this Chin size online is going to make him incredibly strong.
For those of you just joining us, this is game number 1 in a best-of-5 finals between Cognitive Gaming and Titan. Cognitive represents North America. Titan represents Europe. It's 11-5 at 22 minutes, and Cognitive Gaming has held this game from the onset right in their palm and have been dominating Titan so far. And now with the Chin size online on the Osiris, if you are not familiar with Smite, this item gives percentage damage as magic damage for every in-hand, and you can see just how fast tanks like Confrey will melt high HP pools.
Yeah, play some RuneScape, man. There's some skilling.
In on this. It doesn't look like they can. The Nox ultimate a little bit too powerful here. Cog force back. You can see the stuns coming out, and it's a full-on retreat. They're going to look maybe for the tier 1 before they fall back, though, as a consolation prize.
That's right. I mean, it's 4v2. There's no way they're going to get pushed out too hard. I think they still could go for it, and I don't know if we're going to see them push back. Repicos is low here, but it seems that Omegatron is backing.
Yeah,
wow, they're going to back off.
They're gonna let that
you know what? In RuneScape, you should make it so that something like mining, you should so you increase the.
Uncharacteristic patience coming out from all lanes except for Barracuda.
They didn't have to ult there. Just hit another ult attack. Was insecurity. Take his buff, just start working as a lion. You know.
Is just an absolute beast so far in this game.
Just one skill, you know, raise the cap from level
at the top with the rest of his team. 11,000
on a 30 to like 250, which means Voltis is also extra exponentially increased every 7 levels, doubled, not tripled. Anyway.
Wow, will find the kill on a Barracuda with that ultimate there, and down goes the on her, but he got a lot
of beautiful noises.
However, he gives a lot of experience, and much needed experience to Repicos with that kill. He's able to take down the level 20 Hunter from Cognitive Prime.
There's still people who have maxed out every skill at 200 million EXP. There's still more to do, you know, so I think...
Sure, but I mean, there's no threat here. She'll be able to back, she'll be able to heal up, though she is going to most likely lose her red buff for it. And he's got this one.
And if you made like infinity XP possible, or like level 250, which is like...
MLC Stealth doesn't even look like he wants to pick it up. They're just going to leave that one on the ground, happy with their spoils.
That's like 7 double to the power, double of 130 to the power of...
He's perfectly happy just being at the tanky presence in the fights. He has big AoE CC and he's able to bring it. Right side mid camp.
30, you know. Let's see how much these people can get, you know. Who has the most in the world, you know. It would be pretty cool. Is there somebody who has like 4 accounts maxed agility XP spent?
It looks like the tier 1 going to take quite a bit of damage as Barracuda makes his way back to the lane, and Cognitive has rallied once again to the right side to find this tier 1, and they will take it down easily for themselves. Cognitive Gaming continues to take objectives around the map. Gold over 10,000 in their favor. XP 16,500 now for Cognitive Prime.
Andy is very, very close to hitting level 20, albeit the extra damage onto Anvil of Dawn is not something that's like super relevant. Him hitting max level isn't like a massive improvement to the character outright, but I'm sure it'll help, but he is right close to it. 20s on the side of Titan only. Confrey at Araxia 19. Repicos way far behind at 16, and Pretty Prime still 3 levels away herself at level 17.
Those bushes look, well, you know, damn, look at that shield. It goes from a kill to not a kill. I love playing Gab. I don't care if it's defensive or give shields, whatever. Fuck shields, I love playing Gab.
This is very, very dangerous right now.
I use my shield so I can
defend or aggress onto the Gold Fury and throw for this gold. This could spell Fire Giant, it could be Phoenixes, but check out my
You should make an upgrade for possible from the bubble, so that it cannot be dispelled unless there's more people around. I should drink my tea now.
Hitting Gold Fury at leash and continuing to farm that, and also doing it while not looking in that.
That's funny, it's still very hot.
Gold looks like, or rather Vision gonna be in favor.
Oh, black tea's balancing, man.
Moving forward, MLC
like propane.
some damage out onto the weaker mages and that Circuit in the mid lane, but Titan just forced to fall back anytime Cognitive wants to aggress. They just control the pace of this game so heavily.
Oh, going right in. Kanye finds a pretty cute taunt onto Stealth to avoid him from paying the toll. It looks like Kanye is going to be pushed back, activating a shell that's not going to affect too much. Ataraxi is going to take a lot of damage, and Barracuda is going to finish up the Gold Fury. For free.
Yeah, he just continues to farm this down. That's gonna be.
I love science and physics.
Titan falls back. Gold Fury number 3 to Cognitive Prime. Number 4, I'm sorry, to Cognitive Prime. Wow.
Being a genius.
All right, so Comfrey gonna jump forward. He's trying to defend here.
Did you know that? You know that there's temperature that's colder than what's possible. You know. Absolute zero is 173.15, right? You can go like a whole degree lower than that, colder than nothing moving at all, you know? And things turn hotter instead, I think, or something like that.
Really not taking all that
absolute somewhat zero, absolute somewhat cold.
Andy getting very low and a big silence coming out from Comfrey. Diving deep, Rebby's trying to do something, but he's stunned out. He's in a lot of trouble. Can he find it? Oh, Barracuda.
Barracuda saves the day there and does get that kill.
Bro, get one kill? Yeah, again.
He's in the front lines here, and how do you stop Omegatron when he's this farmed? He just finds the kill, and there's not much they can do about that one. Barracuda will continue to aggress into the tier 2 mid, and they find that as well. Phoenix exposed in the mid lane at 27 minutes.
And again, you know, every fight has been so clean and the teamwork has been incredible, but I'm still keeping my eyes so direly on MLC Stealth, who is clearly the breakout this weekend.
Bro is hacking me, fuck this guy.
He has had almost no misplays. The plays that he has made completely have turned games around for his team.
I missed that that's going ahead of the Urge. That's pretty interesting. I missed that item. I guess the Urchin is kind of spiky, huh? Not like an Orphan. Spiky Orphan.
Finding a 3-man push. I mean, the guy is incredible today.
He's been out here, he's been having money, he's been having fun, and he's been stacking HP. Warlock Sash, Height of the Urchin, online, 27 minutes, Obsidian Shard on.
I played that. I used to give all 3-4 people doing Gold Fury with Height of the Urchin, Shonky, and kill everyone. Maybe with the team, maybe not, I don't remember.
Penetration here. I mean, that's going to give him
so
much
tanky.
pressure in the mid game. It's going to give him, or rather the end game, it's going to give him so much damage, and that's what that's going to do is, of course, they're looking for kills, but you don't need kills to win games. The Fire Giant fight with that giant AoE, Recall Demons auto-targeting people, there's no way to actually battle him. They must
I'm gonna ruin your hack.
And if they do, and the Fire Giant isn't down by that point, they might have a reinitiation opportunity, but Rebikos just can't afford to sit and Recall Demons. It's just not possible.
Yeah, the Circuit becomes a non-issue at this point. With all the damage coming up from that Recall Demons, if she's anywhere near, she's just gonna go down.
Oh, left side again, Ataraxia in some trouble here, stunned out.
Oh, the block!
They got him.
Dirty, dirty stuff.
Completely blocking him in. The pillar actually locking him into a small circle. MLC comes over to ensure it goes off. Jeff Hinlow rotating towards the right side. I think they're getting ready to set up for FG.
Yeah, well, no, it looks like to me that Titan wants to stop this push from Omegatron. They're going to try to make a play here, and Jeff Hinlow's going to be there to bail it out. But Restaurant's off mid lane here, and Insert gets caught out by the Circuit, unable to find enough damage to get that kill, and that's the Circuit ultimate down. Andy a free trip back to base, and he can rally no problem with that Anvil of Dawn.
But with that, you know, it does give them a little bit more room to work. Ataraxia, not up for 25, sure, but does have a global ultimate to get him to lane, or rather,
MLC hamster.
very quickly. So it's not like they have too big of a disadvantage in that regard, but their disadvantage is extremely
MLC
prevalent.
upsetting.
We're seeing a 14,000 gold lead and a 22,000 experience lead, still relevant since only 2 people, Confree and Ataraxia, are level 20 on the side of Titan.
Pretty Prime beats are down, and you can bet they're looking for the initiation. Anderson takes to the sky, and he's looking for the Nox. He doesn't find her, but they will find Confree. The chin side just ripping through what there is of Chuck remaining, and now falling
I like
back
those wooden
towards the defender.
barricades.
Shell already spent, no beads available either, except for on the Circuit. This is going to be a very, very difficult. Oh, Daniel's stunned out. Daniel's Cataclysm. They're going to take down the Athena. This is going to set up Fire Giant.
This is too much. I don't think they even need MG at this point. I mean, they could just push for the Phoenix and then take another one. Look at Omegatron going all the way up to their fountain. First Phoenix of the game, 30 minutes gonna fall.
Wow, okay, so now with the significant map advantage, and this is what's gonna happen, is that Cognitive Prime's gonna be able to set up a situation in which we've seen it a few times so far in this tournament. They can set up a line of wards basically in the jungle for Titan and just have knowledge of all of their movements.
There's hackers that try to Smite too. That's so criminal.
And Titan will be forced to spend a lot of gold to counter that vision, or will have to deal with it. Either way, it puts them further behind.
So I'm looking at Confree here, I'm looking at the chalk, and one thing I love about Confree is his ability to adapt to gods that aren't in his god pool. I mean, being real here, there was no Osiris in his god pool before this weekend. I watched him.
Omegatron also got kills.
I saw him mess a lot, just mess up a ton in scrims, but he brought it out this weekend, and he's done very well with it. But with that, Chalk definitely was in his god pool, but I mean, like you said, this is not a value pick.
It's not that Skin's passive skill of attack speed.
One of the 7 kills. Granted, he's also
Like you were already seeing, it scales from your attack speed being upward with warrior items.
There could have been just a better mage pick for him, and I think I would have preferred that, because despite the fact that he's tanking up a lot, there's just not much he's bringing to the table.
Well, the team fight from Titan should be really overwhelming with the double silence from the Nox and the Chalk, both of them very, very large AoEs, and the execution has been there a couple times, but they just got too far behind in the hole. Fire Giant gets snuck in by Cognitive. They've zoned out Titan very, very well here. Atarax is in the sky.
All right, we're going to see going up there, and he tries to land down. Ataraxia's touch is still in the air, but that's a kill for my main man, Barracuda.
Barracuda does find Kanye life, and the tank falls yet again. Fire Giant buff active, Desert Fury as they move forward. Omegatron by 3 with the Psycho Crusher, and a lot of trouble are Titan. They may be losing the game here. No, they're able to save their poor Circuit before she goes down. 3 members remaining. They got
Screen casting.
Tier 2 falling, and Cognitive has fully zoned them away. I mean, they took that Fire Giant with not even a hint of contention.
But there are scorpions on my tie, and I'm feeling a little foolish. I should have had hammers.
Yeah, that's right. Mjolnir superior to the small bug, even though the sting is vicious. It's a infinitely powerful and heavy hammer. So, and in Surge continues to zone out as Confree and Replicas look for the angle. Pretty Prime has to move forward to make this have any kind of flank potential. But Confree just gets stunned out. Replicas in a lot of trouble as well. The chains are out onto Confree. He's stunned in, and the second stun coming through. There's an Athena ultimate on top of him. It's going to stop some of the damage, but the Titan is starting to take some damage from these fire creeps streaming.
What a cohesive unit.
Prime has put themselves in a great position to win this one.
I'm very surprised to see them back and not just push in. Still 10 seconds before Ataraxia comes up, and it looks like Barracuda's going to head back to the base here as MLC Stealth goes to fight in. They just lost their hunter here.
Yeah, and well, Titan recognizing that, they're pushing forward, trying to force the fight, but they just can't. I mean, taking too much of his HP already. Hits from Osiris is starting to really hurt.
So Barra goes into the jungle. He's doing small camps at 33 minutes at level 20, so I'm a little perturbed. But the speed buff, that's something I wanna
Unperturbed,
see.
unperturbed.
This is where the hunter should generally be great.
Ain't your mama,
Yeah, I
ain't
think
your
the
mama.
team is calling for recalls and they need to itemize up, so he's going to go ahead and accelerate his farm the best he can. Still hasn't finished off his big crit item, as you can see, sitting on just that short, but does have the Executioner chin size, that Zappicorn build.
I was just about to say it.
Completed.
It looks like the Zappicorn build has had just a better effect overall than Unicorn. Shoutouts to, of course, Zapman of Team Dignitas coming up with this build and just showing the dominance that it can have. I mean, you're coming on so fast with the extra attack speed, and then your end game presence is huge with the short sword going eventually into the Rage.
For those of you that are a little bit confused about the ridiculous names we have for these builds, the Unicorn build, not sure, well, I know why it's called that, but it's basically attack speed stacking instead of stacking crit, which was
Penetration
for Smite for a very, very long time. Instead, it's a build that stacks attack speed and flat pen, so you hit more often for true damage, basically. Chin size factoring into that very heavily with a percentage proc, as well as AC usually seen, as well as a Witchblade or an Executioner to stack more attack speed. The variant that we see here onto the On Her from Barracuda includes crit and a Titan phase.
Titan goes right in. Kanye plays a 4-man push there with the taunt. And
Bunny.
not giving up here, throwing deep. It looks like they're going to just try to clean up the mid. Oh, no, they're going to leave the mid lane. Phoenix to left. Left side. Comfrey gets picked off. Andy goes up. Up into the air to just cover all available defensive options. Dives right in with the creeps. All three Phoenixes down and Titans on their heels.
Replicas goes in, Kanye Life on top of him, but the Geb is their target. He's going to look for the Cataclysm any moment. No, I'm sorry, it's already been used. No ultimates available for Cognitive Prime. They dive to Willow. Megatron taking up the Titan. MLC stealth in the front lines as well. Kanye Life activates the shell, and that's going to force Cognitive Prime out of the base for the moment at least. But the mid Phoenix taken again. Left side taken for the first time. Fire minions streaming in. Titans got their work cut out for them.
They're going for it again. Replicas forced away. Kanye Life very low as well. We're going to see Ataraxia go back and heal. Reppy trying to bait out as long as possible, but he's slowed. And with that jungler down, things aren't looking too good. Eyes on Pretty Prime doing some damage to the back line. Kanye Life tanking it up, and it looks like first
30%,
game
20%,
going to North
0%.
America.
The Chaos Titan falling in favor of Cognitive Prime. They take a 1-0 advantage here in this best-of-5 series to determine the best team in the world for Smite. And ladies and gentlemen, we had a pretty amazing game there.
So what I'm thinking here is there needs to be a 100% turnaround. That cannot be the same strategy for Titan.
The reason why I feel like Titan is...
There's a lot of danger involved.
Rip that guy.
On top side,
I think fate is multifaceted. If you die too early from, let's say, a car crash, the fate parts that happens when it's too fast happens, but something would also happen with a long life.
The fact that it was already pushed down, and a beautiful rotation into the jungle.
Yeah, and the B, not a big early game fighter, not going to be able to do much.
A multifaceted picture of some plenty of butt trumpets.
On the side of Titan, and they're taking it from the top side of the map. That's not going to be available to Nox, but taking a look at MLC's build, he elects for something a little bit different than what we see out of most Noxes where the rest of Warlock stash. He goes for that early MP5 out of the Lost Artifact. Wow, that's a really early creeping curse, and he's going to take way too much damage. Kanye Life!
Does he not know that the red towers are bad for him this game?
I think that maybe, you know, we haven't seen a lot of Hercules support, and we haven't seen Kanye Life play in some time. Obviously, they've been scrimming a lot, but the pace of the game maybe just got away from him. He thought he was a little bit more resilient than he was.
Oh yes, Kanye Life.
That was a misplay from
Every Kanye follower.
Completely ill-conceived.
Kind of out of it.
Pay for it, and now Andy's getting free push here, and on left side, poor Ataraxia getting completely stuffed underneath his tower. In the early game where the B is generally going to be weak against someone like Hercules, it's just going to get away from him freely.
But now Barracuda and the rest of COG are going to be able to collapse on the orange buff, backside left. Titan really needs to secure this for their jungler, but they're being zoned out completely. Cognitive, they draw the mid laner here as well, and they secure the buff easy peasy for, well...
You do actually need to keep your fans of Kanye West all the time. You are really stupid.
Andy just picked one back up. That's going to give
It's kind of like an intolerant politician tricking you into following his backwards evolution.
Also started with his, with that,
Omega wants to make plays, but Confrey's going to walk out of that circle of death. Omegatron in the Bakasura here. This
That's
an interesting one. Bakasura and wait, left side lane. Hercules, he's going very far forward. Barracuda's going to be able to put the honey down. I'm not sure they have enough, though, to burst down Kanye Life, but they do gain some lane advantage out of this. That Hercules is definitely struggling so far, but it's a god that can make a pretty decent recovery. He can transition into a kind of 4-position farming role if he needs to as well.
I really like the shot from Barracuda there as well, using the swarm to not only hit his opponents, but some of the creep wave as well as he was being pushed back. The big fadeaway is going to give them an opportunity to ensure they're not going to lose any creeps to the tower. And with that, we're approaching the 3-minute mark, so we're going to watch those supports as they start to rotate. But already it looks like Cognitive Gaming is gaining a
Oh wow, look at that solo from Megatron.
Mid camp's coming back up. You'll see the supports rotating out of
The
their
first
respective lanes.
full damage solo.
First out of the lane is Jeff Hinla. 3 minutes, 8 seconds. He makes his move from the lane, and he's going to be there just in time. Pretty Prime stunning out MLC Stealth and Andy, but it's just going to be a bit to harass him. And once again, Cognitive Prime flexing their muscles and holding both of the mid camps.
Oh, Reppy.
Evolution in reverse.
First, oh no, second blood goes to Stealth there. The ultimate, the ticking time bomb. Oh, he might not have gotten it, but he comes in with that last Siphon Darkness and just slams it home.
And we've been talking up MLC Stealth quite a bit in this tournament, considering him potentially the best player. In my eyes, definitely the best player playing today. And all things told, you've just fed that player 2 kills in the
Brian
first 3
Nunshot is a
minutes
good
of the
name.
game on a highly dominant team fighting mage that has tremendous poke potential. And from ahead, it means she gets her Warlock stash very, very early, which means that she's no longer an easy gank target.
You know, what does this say to you? Because 2 times in a row, they have banned MLC Stealth's best god, and now 2 times in a row, he is showing that he doesn't even need her.
But that's always been the case with MLC, even back about a year or 6 months ago when he started playing Scylla for the first time, transitioning out of the Poseidon, right? He was playing the Poseidon, and then they started banning it against him. He picked up Scylla, showed us just how dominant she could be, and then Zhonghui, and then Giannis, and then back to Scylla now. His god pool is just so expansive. Now picking up the Nox, showing us that he really doesn't have anything outside of his reach.
So, formerly the mid lane.
That's a pretty cool Meshuggah line in
about the best.
other songs, Evolution Reverse.
Small god pool. In fact, generally had the smallest god pool in the SPL the first time, you know, one of the first seasons. And his main god, in my eyes,
Whatever.
is Scylla. I think
Maybe
if
they
Best
meant
had
that.
still be playing, I don't think anything would have been different on Dignitas. In fact, I think Nah was a strong replacement. But I think things would be much different for Stealth in the Scylla department if Best had kept playing, because I think more people would have been forced to ban her out during the Pro League.
Right.
With that, though, Stealth shows a very strong pocket pick. Had Nox coming into this as, you know, semi-secret technology. Showed that Zhonghui can be played at a top level in the mid-game. I mean, the guy is just unfazed.
Let's talk quickly about the solo lane here. We won't have a lot of action. Under tower, Pretty Prime. He's going to eat the stun, but it's not going to be enough to pick up the kill. For those of you who don't understand what's happening with that Nox, when the purple swirlies are on them, basically she's used her ultimate. It does damage to the target for every time they cast. It has a dot damage as well, and then stuns them 5 seconds after they're affected, dealing damage again, that application damage again. So that's how we saw that play come out. Right side in the solo lane. As we mentioned, let's quickly talk about this. It's an assassin in the form of Bakasura, matching up against a warrior, a much more resilient style character in the Osiris. However, Bakasura has a lot more attack speed, can gain HP back by devouring minions, and has an ability called Butcher's Blade that gives him true damage along with his basic attacks for a duration, meaning he scales exceptionally well with attack speed. Orange buff, bottom side, Brandon. Looks like we have a bit of an engagement.
Yeah, they're going to try to go in for the steal again, and it looks like they're going to be finding Kanye as well.
I thought it was Charlie.
Into the air. Stealth taking some damage there, but not nearly enough to deter. Rama in the air, raining damage from the sky, but again, not nearly enough to put any fear into the red team.
And with Pretty Prime at 50% HP, it's going to be pretty difficult for Titan to contest these mid camps. Both likely to go to Cognitive Prime again. Left side did go to Jeff Hinla, the Swindler, and Instir, and MLC Stealth moving in to take the right side camps, and they will secure them for Cognitive Prime. They're going to pull ahead, Brandon, in this game. 1,700 gold, 3,600 XP. They built themselves a nice lead in the laning phase.
You know, that's just 2 kills, and they're up by that much.
2 kills on the mid lane carry.
Right, and that's showing how much pressure they have. Barra's going to get greedy here. You could feel it. No, he's going to back up. Barra's so patient today.
Pretty Prime in some trouble here. Jeff Hinla moves forward. There's a Nox open, and he blows himself up. Does Pretty Prime. MLC Stealth with all 3 kills in this game. You know what MLC stands for?
Go for it.
Mid lane carry.
Okay. And he is. Like, look at this. 3-0-0. We're 7 minutes into this game right now, and they're going for what is probably going to be an uncontested Gold Fury. At this rate, I would be not very surprised to see a surrender vote stop game 2.
Yeah, this one's getting out of hand very, very quickly, and Hercules is not the kind of god that can contest those objectives very efficiently. He's more of the pop mitigate wounds, which for those of you that are new here, it's an ability that basically all of the damage you take while it's active gets returned to you as a percentage later, depending on what rank the ability is.
Sure.
And all things told here, he's really more, he wants to pop that and kind of walk in, as opposed to most of the other Guardian role players you see have movement-based abilities, like we just saw the Athena dashing through there, to set up those potential steals or disruptions. Hercules is gonna definitely struggle to do that, and we saw it there. He couldn't even come off of his tower to try to interrupt that play.
So we're about 8 minutes into the game here. Still, obviously, no Fire Giant. Doesn't spawn until 10. Cognitive Gaming leading by 3,700 gold at 8 minutes ensures that they control the mid game. Players like Thor, who are incredibly strong at this phase in the game, especially considering that he's, let's see, a level ahead of Repicos once again, who has opted into Serket. Now, Serket is considered, and I think most definitely, the best character in the game, but the issue here is that everyone on Cognitive Gaming is playing to shut her down. They're invading the jungle early to make sure they utilize the Thor passive, stealing away the experience she needs to get into the mid-game as a strong contender. Her early game is not that great.
No, not at all. She's a very item-reliant god as well. Needs cooldown reduction to be able to initiate and get out of fights more often than not, and also needs some crit online at some point to be able to have 100 to 0 kill potential like you would want out of an assassin. Now, what she does bring to the table without farm is her ultimate, which is 100% healing reduction as well as a true damage dot. If it pops, it does spread, as we mentioned as well. So it also allows her to reposition a single god if they don't beads it out. So she does have some base damage and non-scaling utility, but she's really pretty item reliant.
Ataraxia just got his blue buff stolen. While he is kind of low on mana, the big deal here is that he's already very behind. Barra being level 11, Ataraxia just getting into level 10. That's what? Being? Oh, Bart, you're being ridiculous.
Left side mid camps are going to go to Barracuda here, and he's going to get the credit for them. That's going to put him even further ahead of poor Ataraxia on the ROM over in the dual lane. Right side camps, this is now the third respawn that has gone only to Cognitive Gaming. And that's translating into a lot of the gold differential in XP you see here, less the Gold Fury 1500. It's come a lot from the mid camps with only 3 kills in this game.
Grouping up in mid here is Titan. They're going to see Jeff Hindla, but Kanye Life not taking the risk. He's already 2 levels behind. I think this is starting to spell the weakness right now in Kanye's God pool.
Barracuda picks up his own blue buff, having a lot of uptime now, and this is going to be a very dangerous situation for Rom. The Muzenkov is going to be able to spam out his abilities and clear the wave, and you can already see Thor trending downward on the map, looking for an invade on that orange buff. They're pinging it out. Our Titan, they know that the invade is coming.
Repicos going to rotate in. They're going to see it. Driving Strike going to be used. Creeping Curse gets the pull. Andy might be in a bad spot here. Berserker Barrage. Oh, he's going to try to... No, we will not get up this time.
The poison's going to apply to Jeff as well. No healing and the dot going there. MLC Stealth comes charging forward. They're going to look for a kill on a pretty prime. They should be able to find it with the sun coming out and one more Siphon Darkness. There it is. Perfect placement from MLC Stealth. Secures that kill around the wall. They trade 1 for 1.
That was very scary to see Serket dive in there. I thought she was going to get picked off. Thor almost getting out of that one, not quite. Andy decides not to use his ultimate, which is probably a good thing. He probably would have died either way.
Yeah, nonetheless.
Oh, don't report me, Twitch chat. I am for streaming old YouTube videos of Smite Worlds completely allowed.
Way ahead of Titan.
Other people have done it, other people do it.
He has a 7,000 experience advantage, and this is where the base damage and HP values start to really factor in here. The gold is still within reach, 4,300, but that 7,000 experience and growing is going to be the problem. Looking at Hercules, only level 9. You have level 13 Nox, B, and Bakasura in the solo lane.
So for Repi right now, he has been doing an amazing job throughout this tournament. I even tweeted this morning that if Titan wins the game, for me, likely Repicos...
It's not impressive. I can tell what people have reported me.
Strategy is starting to have... There's a few chinks here. The first is he loves to camp mid, he loves to camp duo. He doesn't usually go for solo because they're very tanky. In this case, he should be camping Bakasura. Secondly, they
Feels
are,
like a signature energy
Gravitas is the
imprint.
Strongest, so they've been camping again.
This is about me seeming improper because I'm streaming when too tired. Like today.
The level 14
Speaking of
farming
which,
740 XP per minute. To put it in comparison, the Hercules is farming 380 experience a minute.
Oh, that's going to be a well over double by the time. I mean, we can see Kanye at level 9, MLC Stealth at 14, so you can see the ramping up that happens with how much experience you need to properly level.
Anderson's gonna get blown up here, and the no, he's gonna make it out of there just for the moment at least. Repicos goes down, that's a big kill. Omegatron Cripple coming through doing a lot. Kanye life has not fallen yet, but Confrey moving forward, he finds the big tether, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough.
I thought the
he's
bees
gonna
were going to kill him. No, Kanye just barely going to escape. Confrey, Pretty Prime, and Ataraxia will hold the tier 1 for now, but the damage has been done with the separation as the big camps respawn. I expect both to be going to the Cognitive boys.
Omega may have a little bit of trouble. Siphon Darkness coming out. He'll devour the last minion. No, he won't.
Did Confrey just miss the hand of the gods?
I think so, but Titan did take one of the minions. Andy takes to the sky. He's looking for Pretty Prime. No, he just zones out Confrey there. The Thor ultimates have been a little bit off the mark from Andy so far this game.
Not
a couple
just from
times.
Andy, pretty much everyone.
Yeah, the nerves factoring in here, absolutely. But Andy's been trying to spot out the Serpent dash and stun it out with his ultimate. It's a very low percentage, but high reward play. In the meantime, Cognitive Prime does take the Gold Fury, the secondary map objective, giving them 1,500 gold and a boatload of experience as well as the fight breaks out on the left side.
Kanye goes for a good pull. Barracuda takes a lot of damage from Ataraxia, who also takes damage in turn. Kanye very low, and Barracuda will be able to pick that one up and regain the Stinger for the cooldown reduction on the ultimate.
The way that Muzenkob ultimate works is he fires his Stinger, it cripples the target, preventing them from using movement-based abilities, as well as doing a considerable amount of burst damage. It then drops the Stinger off of the target a few seconds later, and you can pick it back up to reduce the cooldown by about 80%.
Which is pretty crazy. I mean, if a team fight extends and he
I'm gonna talk about divas first, Baka.
Very small interaction between
Baka.
Yeah, I mean, it's already back up, for example.
And if he decided to push forward, that could have been a kill on Rama, but he decides not to be greedy. He's going to go back and spend money. Balance Blade online. I'm expecting Barracuda to rep the Zap build once again.
With 105 last hits in this game so far, Nox has 17 stacks on her Warlock stash. It's going to take her about another 6 to 7 minutes to finish stacking this bad boy up. Leading the charts in CS is Bakasur and Muzenkov tied at 136. That's damn near all of them.
That's an incredible amount of push, and for Bakasura to have that many against an Osiris is beyond incredible. Omega showing insane prowess in this game.
Osiris continues to climb the net worth charts. He's the only member of Titan that is above any of the members of Cognitive Prime. He's about 200 to 300 gold ahead of Athena.
I thought they were going to see the invade there. Almost got it. Bottom side.
Oh, Andy's going up. Kanye Life is definitely the target here. He's overextended, and the stun comes through. This one's on the target. Kanye Life. Boom goes the dynamite as the Stinger gets picked up yet again by Barracuda.
That's another 18-second cooldown as the chant screams out there. Barracuda calls once again. Now body blocking for his hive, doing a lot of damage. Ataraxia will be forced out. Gold Fury not up. Surprising to see him go so far forward. We're going to see them push in. Repicos has backed off. Ataraxia has backed off. Pretty Prime is completely segregated.
Long-range stun beads forced out. They are a rank 1 beads, I think, as well, onto the ROM. 180-second cooldown. Right side lane. Bakasura finds himself a tier 1 after the Osiris rotation was forced out. Even more farm pulling ahead once again is Cognitive Prime. Can Titan stop them at all?
Whoa, I don't know. We are seeing him dive through towers pointlessly. Beautiful taunt, forcing out a nice big shot there. Pretty Prime taking some damage. MLC Stealth not in the best spot. Age is going to be strong there. Reppy taking some damage. Actually, really not all that much. I'm surprised he backed off, but Omegatron goes to the backside and finds himself a kill.
Confrey's going to tether up on the Bakasura, but that's now down. His passive is fully procced. He's in that ghost form, taking reduced physical damage and being able to run through player collision, but it's not really going to be enough to turn this fight in any way. The nice rotation, nicely timed by Omega, finds that backdoor in a Pretty Prime and gets the backstab kill on the mid laner, helping keep down really what's going to be the primary damage dealer at this point in the game.
So, talking a little bit about Titan here, they went in from the Challengers Cup. They didn't win enough tournaments or anywhere near enough tournaments to make the Smite Pro League. They get to the wild cards. First week, I think they take second place. Second week, they take first. With, of course, SK Gaming. They go to regionals. They wind up winning. It's amazing. But the real set I want to talk about is Titan versus Fnatic. First game against Fnatic, and I guess first game and subsequently almost second game against Cloud9, they got bodied.
Yeah.
Straight destroyed. Very similar to what we're seeing now. In fact, it could have even been worse. And with that, they still managed to make the comeback. Yeah. I know every caster is supposed to build it up, but I must impress
Wow.
you the importance of not underestimating this team.
What they don't have, however, is that late game.
Good body block in season
Left side,
1.
Anderson's trying to find Replicas for this kill.
Yeah.
As well as the team
Really
chasing out
got them with
Ataraxia. Kanye Life looking for the
first
kill.
good play by
Replicas gets
Kanye.
blown up by the backswing on the hammer. Kanye Life's going to use his creeping curse here and get that AoE slow, but he realizes that he's not going to have very much room to move. Agni throws out a long-range stun, but it's just kind of a last-ditch effort as Kanye Life is going to take a spill to MLC Stealth. Not enough magic protection online for that Hercules. He's just going down the Nox repeatedly, and now MLC sitting at 5-0-2. Top net worth in the game. No, hold that thought. Net worth is being out of control. Bakasura 9,500, 9,100 farmed on Muzin.
I don't understand how Barra has that much gold. I mean, I understand. Oh, but never mind. His minion kills are 173.
Look at this. This is a really interesting graph here. Time spent dead. 93 seconds for Agni, 93 seconds for Hercules, 84 seconds for Cirquet. 33 seconds of downtime on the Thor, and no one else in the game has died. But the Tricore, well, the support fourth position.
That's kind of over.
Caps out at 100 stacks. That's on the Nox with the Obsidian Shard, Ratatouille, and Pen Boots. He's going to be hitting extremely hard. Not really true.
It's going to be a challenge, of course, for Titan, as you can hear the crowd.
Barracuda going to move forward as well. But let's keep an eye here, Brandon. And on the mid lane where it's two fairly low clear mages doing battle. However, Nox has a big advantage in the harass department. Red buff Anderson is going to get spotted up. Replicas ports forward, but without the stun to lock him in. Only sitting at level 2. Anderson is going to survive. No first blood in the first minute today.
It's going to hurt Replicas at that reset, but the actual call to reset it was so incredibly high level. Getting that done is something that very rarely happens. Beautiful play coming out, and Andy takes the first real chunk of harass.
On the left side lane, Jeff Hindla falling down to about 50% HP here. The Ares change just doing so much damage in the early stages. They are going to rotate their jungler over to help secure this blue buff. And it's going to be actually really, really XP efficient as MLC Stealth is here as well. And honestly, this is going to help the mid laner out tremendously, getting Scylla to the point where she is a little bit more viable as a clear in the mid lane. And well, as we've seen so far, MLC Stealth does not need much help.
That's true. Going towards the red buff now, we're going to see the two-man grouping. MLC Stealth getting a part of 2 camps there, but he will lose at least some gold to the tower here. He will lose 1 creep of experience as well. Now, talking about Kanye Life, in the beginning, I mentioned quite plainly that his god pool is small. It's very important. But we should talk about the last time I underestimated Ares. He won that game flawlessly against Fnatic to qualify for the World Championships.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a pretty solid, on paper, kind of counter to the Athena. She relies a lot on her dash, but as you can see there, the taunt combination when he tries to move forward, those chains, very dangerous. The lead forward from Barracuda. He's looking for the first blood. He's going to need about 3 auto attacks. 1.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to get any more than that. That's going to be.
I remember this. I predicted he was going to survive this.
Life, ladies and gentlemen, as Barracuda still searching for that first blood.
Ataraxia right there didn't quite find anything as well. Not only did he wasn't able to peel for his team, but he
How do you have the 1% in memory?
He's in a lot of trouble. He's a monster.
Just based on because memory determines intelligence. Just based on intelligence, I know my IQ is higher. Out of 4.5.
Did it before taking the damage, but of course the true damage had been done. First blood once again going to North America, and Titan's attempt to win the World Championship seems to be waning.
For those of you a little bit confused, that I'm a monster move is not auto lock. It's not a guaranteed hit. MLC Stealth is actually just that good.
He has had a very high conversion rate on that move this weekend. And it's not generally a very easy move to land.
No, it's one of the more difficult ones. It's got a big build-up. It's very obvious when you've entered into that ultimate state, and you have only about 8 seconds to fire it. Well, it's a fairly extended time. Hold on, hold that thought. Left side lane, we have a big grouping here. Getting very, very low. Jeff Hindley is going to fall to the damage from the chains. Barracuda's using Desert Fury just to disengage.
That could be trouble.
Thor is up in the air. He can re-engage, but as you can see, Barracuda standing in the crush. He's going to look to leap over the Gold Fury once it's back off of cooldown. Replicas forced out of the fight as well. And Barracuda, very, very elusive using the pillar and the Gold Fury there. They were unable to continue aggression.
Replicas got scared of the crush. Honestly, he should have just taken it. A kill onto Bear there would have spelled absolute brilliance for Titan, but they do answer the first blood back, yet are still down 700 gold.
One thing right up the bat that's very clear about Titan and their game plan here is they've realized that they can't lose all of the mid camps.
Right. It's very important.
They have lost all of the mid camps in the first 2 games here. They start to split them, and actually, are they sitting on an actual lead in this game? No, it's still in favor of Cognitive by about 1,000 XP and 700 gold, even given the mid camp pickups and some early kills.
Titan's farm has just been beyond lackluster. Plain and simple, Repicos consistently falling behind. Pretty Prime almost always behind Stealth, and that's no different here. Level 6 to level 7, and with that mana, you know Pretty Prime's going right back to the base.
That just has to do with Cog Prime's XP efficiency, as you see here. MLC Stealth and Anisir splitting damage and splitting the gold with the Bumbus Mask for these camps. This is something that Cognitive Prime has always excelled at. In fact, they were one of the first teams in the North American scene we saw really utilizing that Bumbus Mask. This is the starting item for junglers, and it gives them a little bit better clear while also giving them some sustain and helping share gold and XP at a higher rate with nearby gods.
So right there, Kanye Life pushes up the mid lane. Instead of just going for last hit, stripping away even more experience and gold from Pretty Prime, putting him now even farther behind MLC Stealth, who, you know, strangely is the one to continue carrying the game. He's 1-0-0. That's damage.
Confrey's in a lot of trouble here. He's going to get set up by the Osiris. There's a Nemesis on his back as well. They could use the ultimate if they wanted it, but they're going to save it onto Anisir, just electing for the harass on the Confrey.
I think Confrey was actually waiting for the ultimate to use his in case they initiated, so great patience on his end as well.
But now they have the ultimate available for Pretty Prime. He's playing up in the lane. He's in a lot of trouble. Anisir is here. The ultimate comes out. Slice and dice as well. Damage coming through. Consumables used. And Pretty Prime gets taunted out. No damage.
Oh!
Here comes the gun. Throws up Thor. Repicos helps turn this one around. Down goes Pretty Prime. Anisir trying to lead. Jump lands here. On the Repicos. Kanye Light finds the pull. On to 2. Crushes there. Kanye Light taking the damage. No more spells. MLC sells out from Sentinel. And it's just a kill for Cognitive.
Reppy once again dropping the ball.
Wow.
Initiated from max range. From the backline. Max range.
Shit in my baguette.
Finding a kill and keeping his
Shit.
team alive just for now.
That's a really, really important kill for momentum. It prevents Asilla from continuing to farm up, as well as giving a little bit of a morale boost on the side of Titan. Boom, Ataraxia. That just feels like such an important moment in the game, that kill.
And it's so, I think, great that it was the captain. It was so relevant that he's the one to say, I understand you dropped the kill. I understand you guys didn't quite get you were looking for there, but I'm here to help you guys keep the morale up. We're pushing into the mid game. We're not letting it go just yet.
Anisir playing a dangerous game there and actually ends up juking that stun from Repicos. And now with some cooldowns used up, Anisir and young Jeff Hindler are going to have a pretty decent time at taking this left side camp.
Kanye right now doesn't have blink for about another 30 seconds. Same thing for his ultimate no escape, which of course is going to be a major factor in the game. Taking a look at Cognitive's actives, there is literally one set of beads and an Aegis amulet. So there's not a lot of potential for them to escape the no escape.
Continuing to group up in the mid lane is Titan. 3 members here, 3 members from Cognitive Prime as well. Gold Fury seems to be on the mind of the teams.
Yeah, we're seeing a grouping here. Right now, the vision belongs to Cognitive. Kanye does have a sentry, will drop it and regain vision control. And with no one in the base right now buying items and no sentry wards in the inventory coming out from the boys on Cog, for now, the vision will belong to Titan.
Yeah, and this seems like a Titan game. The only thing I'm worried about here is that shock in the solo lane.
Again, Comfrey has opted into a god that performed extremely poorly in the previous match.
I mean, he's a good solo laner. Shock, he's very, very safe. He can find farm, and he can scale with farm, and he can use items well.
Yeah, but
what he can't do,
vanilla.
He can't stop Osiris from getting 6-slotted.
He's a vanilla character. He doesn't do anything badly, doesn't do anything good.
Yeah, he won't slow anyone down, and that's going to spell some problems.
Oh, right. We're going to get a grouping here in the mid lane once again as MLC moves forward. Going to get silenced out before he can find anything.
Left side, Repicos and Kanye Life are waiting with the ambush, but Barracuda is facing in their direction. Even without ward covers, the game sense lets him know that he could be in some trouble here. Ataraxia goes forward. He finds a cripple. In comes the rest of the team. The chains are out. Barracuda using Desert Fury. He uses the Athena ultimate as well to help save his life. Dodging forward. Kanye up. Going back in. Down goes Barracuda. But here comes...
That's some good shit, man. Good team.
Who dodges forward. I don't think Cognitive can find any more out of this.
Oh, they're trying though. And he goes down. Ataraxia finding the bait, and now a double kill for Repicos.
Pretty Prime
down. One more hit's gonna do it. There's a kill for Kanye.
Pretty Prime has a blink on Nox at 8 minutes into this game.
That's what he does, man. That's how he won in the previous set against SK Gaming. He goes aggressive, but there's a 4-man grouping here. We don't have the Hunter. There's no way Omega's making it over, but the issue here is that MLC Stealth could still wipe that team.
Yeah, he missed his route, though, which is going to mean that Comfrey can zone him a bit here. The Goldfear starting to get low.
he's taking a lot of damage.
Coming out. Can he find anybody?
Nothing.
No, he looks for the ultimate. Questionable play there. And I mean, granted, as you mentioned, in theory, he could have killed the entire
If he
team.
falls, they will all fall, maybe.
He should have dived in. He needed to all in much sooner when they were still stacked up. Of course, he didn't have that information, but he winds up paying for it. And for the first time, MLC Stealth with a big misplay puts his team behind as Titan finds a 1,000 gold advantage. But I do want to highlight and give major shout-outs to my man Omega, who recognizes the fact that he's just not getting over there. He strips away the blue buff and takes it, and then drops the red buff on the ground for his team as well. Brilliant use of his time.
Yeah, Omega playing some of the best Smite of his life here. He's one of the longer tenured players around in the scene.
Another idea for my book, I put a biblical amount of hamsters through his window.
We've seen him fall in and out of favor in terms of a dominant or a top of his class solo laner. But here we've seen him play a game that we haven't seen really from anyone else. It's the very Omega style of play, very lane dominant, a lot of taunting, a lot of emote spamming, and a lot of head games.
This idea for Zeus, if someone is detonated and said it's all, they're stunned in it.
We're going to see a lot of damage onto Jeff here. Can Comfrey move forward? Oh, I'm very surprised to see him not go a little bit.
We should give Zeus much area damage on his ult, considering the chain lightning. Watching the chain lightning.
Nox damage is going to help slow down Cog Surge forward. And Osiris has realized he can't find any kills, but there's the Crush Sick'em combination. Kanye Light's going to get slowed up, taking a lot of damage. Omega trying to find any will with the Psycho. Down goes Kanye Light.
Eyes on Ataraxia in the air. It's going to need a big shot here. Can he find it? Oh, he cannot. Silence out onto Andy. Ataraxia is going to try to find a kill here, but he knows he's going to be forced to retreat. A small but still relevant victory for Cognitive Gaming.
XP actually swings into the favor of Cog, albeit by only 700 on the back of that fight. Gold difference still in favor of Titan at 800. This game is basically dead even at 11 minutes, even though Titan is holding 6 kills. To their credit.
We got 1,000 gold difference roughly. I mean, realistically, that's not going to be an item level per person, or rather even for one person. It's going to come down to if they can use it. This isn't a defend or protect the lead situation. This is a I must farm as good as MLC Stealth situation. This is a I must continue outplaying Barracuda situation. And in the last fight, Barra found the good ult, and Ataraxia didn't.
And this game, however, Comfrey being a little bit more successful with the chalk. He's made the rotations, as you mentioned. Omegatron has elected to farm instead. You can see him going toe-to-toe. We got a slap fight over here.
I'm actually pretty surprised to see neither of them has picked up teleport to towers yet. Both of them sitting on Hand of the Gods 1.
Yeah, they, I guess there just hasn't been a lot of pressure in this lane. We've only seen the jungler over here a couple times, and neither of them really likely to fall with the tier 1 still up. So, all things told, it's a farm lane.
So, Reppy right now, 3-1-2 compared to Andy, 1-1-2. That's a little bit confusing to me, considering the fact that they're the same level. Andy actually getting the lead now.
Undertaker piss.
Now hitting level 12.
Yeah, Andy's pulled ahead now on this Nemesis, even though, as you mentioned, behind in the kills, Thor just not farming very efficiently on the back of Repicos.
That's true. I mean, realistically, Andy has always had a very significantly higher farm rate than most other people. Ultimate coming out onto Kanye. Is MLC a monster? He's looking for it. He's kind of wasting it, but he finds one. 3-man silence going to come out. Trying to wait for a little bit more damage to come through. Might waste it. Not going to find the second hit as Reppy dives into 3.
Omega moving forward. There's a big Psycho Crusher onto 2. No healing coming out. Barracuda gets blown up by the Ataraxia ultimate.
There's
from
a good shot.
He's going to miss any more kills here as Comfrey surges forward, establishing the front line for Titan. He's going to take some damage for his trouble. Taunted back in. Can it be enough? No, Jeff Handler forced out as the stun comes from Thor, and it's a 1-for-1 trade.
In favor, in my opinion, of Titan, of
Absolutely.
course. Given the fact that Barracuda is going to face about 30 seconds of respawn compared to the fact that Kanye is already up.
Titan looking like they want to keep their tournament hopes alive here, down 2-0 in a best-of-5 series. One more victory for Cognitive Prime will make them the best team in Smite in the world. Titan fighting for their hopes. They're building themselves a lead, but it's not substantial yet. They really need to take a Gold Fury, a couple towers, get some footing before you can call this one in their favor.
So, topside speed buff about to respawn. It's strange that Andy's going to rotate away. Still could be some time before it comes up. It is within that 30-second mark. So I expect that he's going to try to maximize his farm, as he always does. Goes to the small camp first. Speed buff just blinking, so expect the rotation back soon.
Yeah, speed buff on the top side, going to be coming back up shortly. Red buff, as you mentioned, going to be picked up by the Athena Nemesis Scylla combination. Gold Fury also up in about 30 seconds, so be mindful of that as we watch the teams rotate for that top side orange buff.
All right, so Stealth going back into the mid lane, not missing any farm there. A little bit of gold to the tower, but nothing super relevant. Mid camp's on right, about to come up, and again, Andy walking past the speed buff to ensure that he's going to get a camp that can be contested.
Yep. I haven't told it since that.
15 seconds left. The chains are coming out, but they do miss.
It's filled with whipped cream.
4v4.
It's a 4v4 now as the rest of the backline rotates in. Repicos there, as is the Osiris, but backing off now is Titan. They're going to give this one up to Cognitive Prime.
Strange to me, considering that they did have a pretty good line to that. Pretty Prime was completely blocked by the front line, and the rotations coming over. Comfrey didn't really have too much threat, honestly. I mean, the Nemesis all coming out, and then him reducing the damage he takes with Ares applying pressure could have been very strong, but they decided to play it safe.
It's a Razor's Edge game, though, with Nox against other pro teams. She's just very, very low HP,
Sure.
and needs a lot of farm to really be dominant.
Whoa, Reppy going immediately for Bera. Bera, I think, yes, jump is down. Not in a great spot. Bad teleport coming out from Repicos, but Ataraxia again cleaning up the mess, finds another killer, and Barracuda is going to face another 35 seconds of respawn.
I think this should demonstrate why we've seen Yeah, pulled back in as Jeff Hinla in a lot of trouble, but here comes Anderson. Doesn't matter.
Bro, dash into the hammer.
Down will fall Repicos, however, in exchange as Anderson rotates in. It's a 2-for-1 trade, but at least Cog gets something out of it here as Titan starts to pull ahead now. The lead's still not very respectable, though. It's only about 1,000 gold, and the experience is dead even.
When Cog is in this advantage, it's like 4,000 to 5,000 gold. When Titan's in this advantage, we're only seeing about 1,200.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, the pace feels very much like a game.
A passive stupid Solid loves to play Shark.
Exactly right. A tenth of the lead that we saw out of Cognitive Gaming.
Maybe he'll hit his ult.
Oh, nice chains coming
Speaking
out.
of circle.
A lot of damage. They actually forced his beads as well. They're going to be down for 3 minutes, but he still has the Greater Aegis active. So he's not going to be in too much trouble as he does retreat, and no Gold Fury attempt. I thought they were going to try it.
Yeah, it is a little bit questionable to pick the Scylla into the Ares knowing it was there. The chains that Ares attaches means that the god cannot use ability-based movement. So that teleport under the ground to the Doghead Sentinel ability on Scylla, one of her most important abilities, probably the best ability that she has in her kit. It's a very, very fast cast time, a nearly instant teleport that goes through walls.
Yes.
And when that gets shut down by the Ares chain, she becomes very vulnerable, as you saw, blowing a 3-minute cooldown just because of the threat of getting hit by one.
Well, again, she still has the Greater Aegis, so she still can provide a little bit of support. They can rely on Jeff Hinla as well for peel, although Athena doesn't have a ton of peel. She has one gigantically great spell to ensure that if the Confound hits, they'll be pushed away, or she can increase the defenses of Scylla, mitigating damage incoming by 25% with the ultimate.
Pretty Prime, yeah.
Gonna play like Pretty Prime there.
What Nox is doing there, she has a stealth shield that will absorb 90% of damage.
But they're only similar in a way that
avoid those crushes coming out of Scylla.
an extroverted
a little bit of trouble here.
cognitive functions can have an introverted mirror.
Stalled there. Barracuda taking a little bit more harass than he would have liked.
Ooh, Andy moving in again. A lot of pressure into this Gold Fury still.
Yeah, at some point I might have the same kind of line of thought.
He just walked over a sentry and he will be
I've
spotted.
been thinking.
There's actually a ward here down for Cognitive at the Gold Fury, but we have a team fight breaking out. Anderson trying to dash away. He's going to pull back in by the ultimate.
Oh,
Confrey is in a lot of trouble as Confrey silences out too. And now here comes Surging Titan. Barracuda comes into the back line, but he gets started out by Repicos and exploded.
Barracuda falls. You will fall.
If they get through this game, they force the game 4. Rama better be banned because Ataraxia has shown up like he has never shown up. He has always been the middle of the line player for the team, but holy hell.